to YouTube.com, featuring Robin Hoodie Radio, the music channel on YouTube. That's right, I am the music channel on YouTube. None of these exist besides me, and we're not even talking about music today. You may be wondering what is up with that. This is just a media year in review 2019 for me, Robin Hoodie. I have enjoyed a lot this year, and I want to share some of the things I've really enjoyed and that hopefully you will also enjoy if you haven't enjoyed them yet. And check these out and see if you like them. It's going to be covering music, films, and books, because I enjoy all of those things. For books, I actually set a goal this year of reading 15 books, which I thought, no way I could reach that goal. And then I blew past it and I got 18 books read. So I'm going to start this off with the one thing you should take away from this video, if nothing else, is read a book. It's not that difficult. Don't be scared of it. My friend, who only reads Lord of the Rings over and over again, which, by the way, if you haven't read Lord of the Rings, you should, but that's not one of the things on my list. But I found him a book. I bought it for him for Christmas, and he just recently texted me saying, I really enjoyed the book. I'm almost 100 pages in. So, like, you can find a book out there that you'll enjoy, because this dude, like, I thought it might be impossible, but I did it. So if you need a suggestion, I've got a few, and if you need a more specific suggestion, I might be able to research for you if you want to comment down below. But we'll start off with books. Why not? Good books this year. First book is this one, Why Should the Devil Have All the Good Music? Larry Norman and the Perils of Christian Rock by Gregory Allen Thornberry. My brother is actually at one point was good friends with him, but you should read this book. Like, they have it in normal bookstores because it's an amazing book about Larry Norman. He knew a lot of the classic rock people you're into, like, I can't name names, I don't remember at this point, but yeah, he was like in the scene, but he was like not in the scene because he was doing Christian rock. But people loved him. They thought, like, he influenced some big names, like the U2, he influenced Pixies, he influenced the Pixies, I want to say, and a few other bands, and this is just a wild read, and I cannot recommend you read it enough. And then I also read Benny Goodman, the Kingdom of Swing book, which she wrote. It's an old book, so you have to find like an old copy. My university had it in their library, so that's how I was able to read it. But it was just a fascinating look into how he came to be famous and just kind of the big band he grew up in, the big band era he grew up in, I guess. So that was a really good read. And then if you're looking to get into jazz, seriously check out How to Listen to Jazz by Ted Gioia. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's a really good read. I read it because I want to get deeper and grow deeper in my jazz knowledge, and I think the book has helped me, and it's really good. So get into jazz and read the book. And then if I had to recommend just one book for you to read, one book I seriously probably impacted me the most this year is the last book I read, called Uncomfortable by Brett McCracken, and it's about Christian community and the need for that, and how to grow in that. And it was just such an impactful read, and like, I know I'm going to take it into this next year. I went to a Christian conference at the end of this year with Campus Outreach, and I just got back from that, and that was super impactful. So I have so much good that God's going to do through me this year. I can feel it. So just gotta trust in him to do great works through me. But yeah, that's exciting. Now let's get on to some exciting music that you should check out that I enjoyed this year. Andrew Bird released such a great album, and then he also released a Christmas album, and I don't know if it was out or if I had known about it last I released a video about music, but it's really good. He does some covers of Peanuts songs, like a violin cover and then a whistling cover, and then he just has some whistling, I think he like whistles Oh Holy Night, and it's just so good. It's awesome. So check that one out. Andrew Bird is awesome. Anna Meredith, she did the soundtrack for 8th grade, so you may know her from that, but she is a Scottish classical musician, and that's kind of what she grew up on, is classical music. She doesn't know much outside of that, but then she just decided electronics is what's popular now, let's get into that game, and she's making like electronic music with this classical background, and it makes it so interesting. And she did Anno 4 Seasons, by Anna Meredith and Antonio Vivaldi. So she just like remixed Antonio Vivaldi's, like she's got the strings and stuff, but then she inserts like her electronic elements into this live orchestra, and it is just so cool, and it's great study music. So cannot recommend Anno Four Seasons by Anna Meredith enough. I also really like some soundtracks this year, so really like the stuff Lakeshore Records puts out, like Rob Simonson, but there's been some other good ones. I just saw the film Earthquake Bird, but I had listened to the soundtrack before that. The film is alright, but cannot recommend, well, no, I can't recommend it enough, but like, recommend Earthquake Bird, another good study music, by Atticus Ross, Leopold Ross, and Claude Sarn. That's Earthquake Bird, and then also Loose was another one I enjoyed. The soundtrack to Loose by Ben Salisbury and Geoff Barrow. And both of these were actually released on vinyl through Invictus Records out of the UK, but I don't currently have the funds to support purchasing those, so I may never own them because they're super limited stock. The Loose ones are even signed by the composers, so that's cool. But yeah, I did though spend some money recently. I went to a record store and got the Joseph album I really wanted, some Christmas money, because that's one like I wanted even more than these two. And then I found a super cheap, well, a sale copy, which was insane, of Energy Bird, which the vinyl on that is so gorgeous, and you have to check that out. Go down below to my vinyl Instagram. I'll link that down below, and I'll definitely be posting these recent pickups on there at some point. Yeah, it's awesome. Without Words, Bethel Music released another Without Words series called Genesis. It didn't like draw me in as much as the last two have. The last two have just been like, I love those albums so much, just the sound and it's instrumental music. And this one, for whatever reason, just didn't hit me as hard. Maybe with more listens, I'll enjoy it. Like, after a few listens in, I did find some songs I did like, okay, these are good, but I don't think it's gonna be as great as the other two, which is unfortunate. But I didn't even know it was coming out, so that's cool. That's out, but I didn't even see like them selling a CD of it yet. So I have the other two on CD. They haven't released vinyls of them, but those are super good. So you want to check that one out. The Black Keys, Let's Rock. I think I mentioned that on this channel before, but yeah, that was a good album released this year. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned all the stuff on here doesn't have to be released in 2019. It's just various media I enjoyed. Clan and Drumma, Bloodline. Clan and Drumma, spelled CLANNANDRUMMA, is a Scottish clan band, like one of the few that exists, if not the only one that still exists, doing like classical Scottish clan music. And if you need music for your workout playlist, check this album out. It is so hype. Oh, I love it. Colony House is releasing a new album this year, and they released 2 singles. So that's coming out soon, so I guess just check that out. Kind of like Cricket Blue this year with their album Serotonalia. I listened to it for a time and then kind of didn't, but they're like a folk band from New Hampshire, Cricket Blue. It was good for a time, and I may get back into it at some point. Cool album cover for sure. Maniac, another soundtrack I liked, really got into this year, based off the Netflix series. Maniac, soundtrack by Dan Romer. Rediscovered Come On Eileen by Dexys Midnight Runners, and that song is a bop from the 80s. It's so good, even nowadays. You can't even like really tell it's from the 80s. It's got like so many like forward-thinking elements to it. It's great. An artist that I found this year that released an album last year, and I'll be taking this album with me. And I think she's gonna release a new album this year, so I'm super excited. Ellie Schmidley, that's Eliie, and Schmidley, SCHMIDLY. Ellie Schmidley with her album Blossom and Bone. I love that album so much. It's got all the elements I like of music. It's cinematic, it's got good lyrics, she's got a fantastic voice, and good rock, funk, soul elements. Not really soul, but yeah, it's just awesome. I highly recommend you check it out because I love it so much. She even released a single this year of a cover for It's You I Like by Mr. Rogers Neighborhood, and that's also great. But I just really think her voice is fantastic, and the cinematic elements she brings in to her music is perfect, and her music is just what I enjoy a lot. Foals, The Runner is a song I really enjoyed. I didn't really listen to the whole album yet. Foals is not really a band I've ever been into, but I really like the song The Runner for some reason. So if you want to check out Foals, The Runner, great song to run to. Not just because it's called The Runner, it's like also got good running vibes. Future Forestry, Light Has Come, Christmas, Sure Drew That, so good. Testify, Season 1, Jay Monty, he was able to re-release it on digital platforms as he got off his contract. Kind of the only rap I listen to is Jay Monty and this Testify series. Also Kanye West's new album I listened to some, and I personally like it, but he's not an artist I ever listen to a lot. But yeah, Testify Jay Monty is one I definitely recommend. Excommunicate, Christian Control. Not great lyrics a lot of the time, but her vibe, it just takes me to a place that there's not a lot of music like hers out there, like this specific thing. I don't know why, but it just makes me, it's just a certain thing that I really resonate with, her sound. So I would recommend you check it out. Specifically the song Skin Shed. It's like kind of electronic, and her voice is like deep and cool. This Christian Control is spelled with K's for both Christian and Control. But yeah, Skin Shed and Don't You Want to Be, two songs that I really have enjoyed this year off that album. Lonely Shade of Blue, Nick Lang is an artist I really enjoy, and I think he's going to release new music soon, but his single he released this year, Lonely Shade of Blue, I've really super enjoyed. Also, Caesar Knows by Oliver Hazard was a single I really enjoyed. So there was that. Switchfoot released a new album this year, Native Tongue. For some reason, Switchfoot albums are not ones I like often go back to and listen to, but this one had some really good songs on it. Recently, I've been really jamming to Take My Fire, but The Hardest Start, even though it's kind of like predictable, is one I've really enjoyed. Native Tongue and Voices, since the first time, I really enjoyed those. So yeah, check out that album as a whole, because it does have some good songs on it throughout. It's just not one. It's just like not a band I go listen to the full albums outside of Nothing Is Silent like often. So, but I do listen to Switchfoot like surprising good amount. So, The Turtles, classic band with their song Happy Together, one of the greatest pop songs of all time. I rediscovered that, then decided to listen to the whole album, see if it was good, and let me tell you, it is great. So check that out. The Turtles, Happy Together. And last but certainly not least for music is Hill Climber by Wolfpack. It was released last year, but I really got into this year. And then me and my best friend, he likes it too, and we kind of jammed out to it on a car ride, and it was a grand time. So that album's always going to mean a lot to me. And the song Half of the Way has just been really a jammer for me recently. Great band. On to films. Films I enjoyed this year. Hopefully this won't be too long. So we got Swing Kids. Saw us at the beginning of the year, like literally the first week in theaters. So this is a film from last year, but it was released in the U.S. mainly this year, and theaters I could go to. Anyways, it's a foreign film, Korean, 3 hours long about, so it's a long haul film, but I was really impacted by it. Not a true story, but probably based on like true events in the Korean war camp type deal. So it kind of makes it less cool, but I mean, it was still a great movie and impactful. And I would recommend you check that out. And then if you were to check out one film this year that I would recommend to you, is Many Beautiful Things, about Lilith Trotter, just one of the most inspiring humans, voiced by Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey. Yeah, one of my favorite historical figures now after seeing this. And the soundtrack is so good. It was done by Sleeping at Last. But yeah, she's what an inspiring figure. Other films I enjoyed this year, well, probably the last film I watched last film I watched was The Last Jedi, but or then Rise of Skywalker. But the last film I watched like as a family was The Peanut Butter Falcon, and not like objectively great cinema, but also just like, who cares? That was a freaking amazing film. Probably one of my top films of the year, if not my top film of the year, just because like our family had such a fun time with it, enjoyed it so much. this is a film that's like going to be talked about, like quoted from my family for ages to come. Like so many laughs. Like don't listen to the film buff bros who are hating on it because of all these various issues. Like it's just a fun time, and sometimes that's all you can ask and hope for out of a film, because you just need films like that sometimes. And if it didn't resonate with you and you want to be the film bro, like that's fine, but don't hate on other people who it did resonate with and had a fun time with it. I thought it was such a fun film, so check out Peanut Butter Falcon. Then before that, I saw Knives Out in theaters, and PG-13 does have some crude language, but also, if you take that out, it was just like such a fun murder mystery. So well done. All the actors were perfectly chosen for their roles. What a great film. Yeah, if you can handle a little bit of crude language, then I highly recommend you check this one out. Then one that didn't get a ton of like marketing done for it, but Professor and the Madman. If a story about the guy who wrote the first dictionary sounds boring to you, then you have to check out this film, because it was so very fascinating, so very moving. Like, I was so moved by this film, and it's about the guy who made the first dictionary and the other guy who helped him make it. What a wild film. Like, it should have gotten more advertising. More people should know about it, because I thought it was just so impactful and such a good film. Check that one out. Of course, Tolkien. I showed you the vinyl for that when I got it in. Thanks to Tavis, Final Talk with Tavis, for giving me the money for that one. But I enjoyed the film too. Again, not a great film, but one that I'll always enjoy, especially because I like Tolkien. So check that one out. And last but certainly not least, Avengers Endgame. I mean, what a superb finish to the Avengers series. I just thought they ended it so well. Obviously not a perfect film, but man, it was a good time, and it's just so much fun to see it the first time in theaters. What fun. So that is it for my 2019 things I enjoyed. Yeah, super excited for 2020. I know it's going to be also a wild year in America, just because humans are fallen, and they're not great. They can be great, but 2020 I think is going to bring out some dark sides of people. So I'm going to stay positive, and I'm going to trust that the Lord will do great things through me this year. And I'm going to have a good year. So, we'll see you when I see you in the next video. Robin Hoodie out. You have a great rest of your day.